don't know what it will take for officials in the justice system to wake up and stop giving privileged defendants chance after chance. But I am furious this week after watching Bowen Turner's horrific DUI video and also digging in to Michael Colucci's troubled past. I see so many shocking similarities between the two privileged men in the land of no consequences. I can only hope that South Carolina officials and the public wake up and speak up before more people get hurt. Well, just 4 months after he got out of prison for his probation violation, Turner was arrested for DUI, resisting arrest, and other charges after flipping his vehicle several times. The video was deeply, deeply disturbing. Turner drunkenly cursed and screamed at this police officer who honestly deserves a gold medal for patience. Please watch the video in the link in the descriptions and share it to show the world that this is the monster the system made by letting him get off time and time again. Bowen was granted the opportunity to plead guilty to his DUI charge that appears to be disposed of after he just served 17 days in jail. We are still looking into this, but it appears like the system is letting this man off again. Right now, he is in prison for his Youth Offenders Act offense, and he is still facing resisting arrest and public disorderly conduct charges. Meaning, he really could get out soon, and he could get off easy again. And after watching that video of how he treated a female officer, I am deeply, deeply concerned about what he could do if he gets out. But today, we need to talk about Michael Colucci. The trial is coming up in May, and every day this case gets more concerning. Not only as we learn more about Michael and his very Alec Murdaugh-y personality traits, but we are concerned about the Attorney General's office approach to this case, or lack thereof. They simply cannot afford to put up a toothless prosecution again, and I hope that they realize that there are victims out there praying every day that they do their jobs in this trial and finally get justice for Sara Lynn Colucci. In the Colucci case, police reports and legal documents show us a different side of Michael. They show a man living chaotically and suspiciously, and the police just believe him over and over again. Criminal records only tell you a little bit about a person. They tell you the stories where they didn't get away with it, at least not initially. They tell you about the times a person was charged with a crime. But a lot of times, especially with privileged defendants, you can find events where it looks like there was enough for probable cause, or at least enough to warrant a further investigation. And yet, the investigation just ends. Police reports will tell you about the times they might have gotten away with something, which is important to know when you are looking at someone's escalating behavior and seeing a pattern of them getting away with whatever messes they make.
When you look at the police reports as a whole, there seems to be a clear pattern of Michael being accused of not giving people back their jewelry. And maybe this wasn't important enough to police on a case-by-case basis back then, but it should be important now when prosecutors can use the bigger picture to show jurors what kind of financial pressure Michael was under at the time of Sara Lynn's death and how it seemed to affect their marriage, to show jurors just how chaotic Michael's life was. So today we want to talk more about what's in those police reports and in other legal filings and what they're showing us about who Michael was before Sara Lynn was killed and who he seems to be after her death. There are a lot of dots that can be connected here. Dots that were not connected in the first trial. According to the lawsuit, Michael and Curtis had entered into a verbal agreement wherein Curtis agreed not to sue Michael for what happened, in exchange for Michael paying all of his medical expenses. Between April 2005 and January 2009, Michael made 16 payments of $1,000 each. That's about 4 payments a year. Then he stopped. Now, I know these are medical expenses we're talking about, but between $40,000 and $50,000 is a lot of money in 2005 dollars. According to this lawsuit, Michael put his friend in a chokehold. You know, a classic wrestling move. He allegedly snuck up behind the friend, put him in the chokehold, and then threw him violently enough to shatter this guy's leg and ankle. Do I need to remind anyone about how Sara Lynn died? That would be asphyxiation. Do I need to remind anyone about where, according to the indictment and testimony, Michael claimed to be when Sara Lynn was being asphyxiated to death? Well, he says he was in his car, which was right there, facing the spot where her body was found. In the first trial, the prosecution did not connect the dots for the jury on Michael's money troubles and how it was a source of stress among his family, and particularly with his wife, who saw Michael as a saving grace for her and her daughter, but who soon found out that what she initially saw as temporary personal battles was actually just who Michael Colucci is as a person.
Just like in the Alec Murdaugh case, the dots are all there to tell a story that this man is dangerous, and his life happened to be at a boiling point right around the time his wife was killed. That story, with all of the dots connected, removes all reasonable doubt for me. But will the Attorney General's office bother to connect those dots this time? Will they lay out a carefully crafted story like Creighton Waters did and show the jury who the man at the defendant's table really is? Or will they shrink and let Andy Savage bulldoze his way through the trial for his second time and show Michael Colucci, once again, that South Carolina is truly the land of no consequences for men like him? We will see in May. Stay tuned, stay pesky, and stay in the sunlight.